Yeah, they were really tight. I thought we were outplayed for the first half, but probably parts of the third quarter as well. And the reality is at the moment, for parts of games, we're just an average team. You know, probably not worse than that, but certainly not better than that. And that's not going to stand up at the end of the year. So, as I've been saying all year, we've got to improve and make sure it's more consistent. Certainly our best foot is good enough, but we're just not seeing it for long enough.
Obviously, the two boys stood up in the increase for Tommy and James, and must have been pleased to sit back and watch that for the last quarter, those two guys.
Yeah, it's good to see our tall forwards perform well. We always knew Tom was going to come back and play well. We just need him to sustain it for a long period of time. And Pod has shown that he can play at a really high level this year. And when we get the ball forward quickly and give them good delivery, they can be exceptional players. And we've got great faith in our tall forwards. Again, the reality is for the year we haven't put it together for long periods of time, but that's what we're aiming to do.
What will that do for Tommy, you reckon, going forward in the next 10 weeks?
I have no idea. I hope it's the stepping stone to him becoming an absolute A-grade AFL key forward. And as I've said, I think back in, December, I'm really confident that we can get there with him, and he, more importantly, he can get there. And we're prepared to be patient with him. And he's starting to, started to show some signs today.
You've been worried about your slow starts. I know the first goal today, but still a concern there.
Yeah, I think we.
Early.
No, I think we kicked the first goal the 2 weeks previous to this as well, and then fell in a bit of a hole. Yeah, when the heat's on, we're not playing well, and more than anything else, that's the thing that we need to address.
Three-point deficit going to that final term. Were there any nerves, and what was the message?
No, I'm nervous before every game. I'm nervous when we're, 5 or 6 goals up at three-quarter time. But I was really confident that we have a group of players that when the chips are down and the heat's on, that they stand up, and that's what the way it panned out. But I still maintain that we need to play our best footy early in games and not wait until it looks like the game's slipping away from us before we get up to the level.
What part, if any, did Jonathan's not being there in the last quarter? You and players might take a psychological help from that? Or not?
Yeah, I always find that really hard to tell. He certainly didn't have much of an influence on the game. Mitch Clark was worrying us more as a key forward than Brownie, but I feel sorry for him. I have no idea what his injury is, but kind of typifies the way he plays. Back into a pack that he probably had no right to go back into, and put himself in harm's way. I hope he's okay.
Matthew Scarlett.
Yeah, Scarlett had a little bit of a sore back. In a pinch he could have played, but as we've done a lot this year, we took the cautious approach, and we expect him to be okay next week. We're not as good a team without him, are we? That's something we've got to remedy.
The week in Queensland, now that the game's been played, did it recharge the batteries like you hoped?
Again, I find those intangible types of things hard to work out right in the moment. We'll take our time to assess it. If we had have lost, I would have been answering some hard questions. Look, when we planned it in December, we were really confident it was the right thing to do. We're still confident it was the right thing to do. But time will tell. It was never going to have the week on the Gold Coast, play well on the weekend. It's a success. It's really longer term than that. But yeah, as I said, we're pretty confident that our planning was well done.
So just on that, obviously this stage of the season, you have still got thoughts of playing in September. You're playing in September, so...
Yeah, I've got more than thoughts of playing in September.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's part of the planning, though. If you're struggling for the 8, it might have been a different approach.
No, it's certainly not a different approach with the week. As I said, we planned it in whenever the fixture came out. Probably 2 weeks after that it was done and the planning began. So it's got nothing to do with where we thought we'd be in terms of the ladder. It was just a way to mitigate what was a tough draw and get out of a cold Geelong winter for at least a week.
Alan Christensen's stoppage work, that would have been another positive view out of the whole game, Chris, that he really nailed his moving that midfielder that he was drafted.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go, but the signs were really positive and have been for some time. We think he's in our best 22 at the moment, certainly. But when we were struggling, he was the one more than anyone else that was getting us going. And even at three-quarter time, we specifically mentioned Alan as someone who could give us a bit of a lift, and he just kept boring in that last quarter. And if anyone really gave us the spark, I thought, along with Corey Enright and Joel Corey early, it was Alan.
Give Lions and sort of a rap for bringing to you guys the way that they did from 15th to the last.
Yeah, I don't really do that. Obviously I've got a soft spot for the Lions, but I don't think it's my place to talk about them. Thank you.